What's up, everyone? Zero here. So, Diablo 4 had their Campfire chat yesterday, and I wasn't going to comment on it. I was watching DM's video about Diablo, and he makes a really, really good point, and I don't think that this is said enough. So, let's hear what he says.
I do think deflating the hype is something that they've continually done since the beginning of the game and is the most classic Blizzard mistake with Diablo 4. Season 0 or Season 1 launches, nerf all the armor stats into the ground. Season 2 comes out, people are feeling pretty good. Season 3, deliver the vaults, and everyone fucking hates them, so they have to fix and buff them. We do this roller coaster of good thing, disappointment. Good thing, disappointment. Fix the disappointment, people are excited by the fix. Disappointment again, fix it, now it's kind of in a good state. But we never have like 2 in a row of something really good and then they just double down and they...
I honestly feel like the developers that are involved in making this game do not play this game regularly. Maybe they're too busy, maybe it's not their fault, maybe they don't enjoy these types of games or whatever. But if you watch Jonathan Rogers over at GGG, that motherfucker can blast. What's his name? Chris Wilson. I think he cut down the time in PoE 2. He said something like the first 3 acts take multiple hours, and they were saying that he's got it down to like 3 or 5 hours or something crazy. So these people play the game, which is why the game is so good. Which is why people are excited. The community's excited. You don't see all this backlash like you do with Diablo. So as this game slowly turns into D3, we're probably going to be on the same timeline, so I'll probably check back in a few years and actually play it. I'll obviously cover the news on it if anything big breaks. Let's get into the Campfire chat. Shout out to DM, by the way. If you watch this, dude, you're one of the reasons why I started doing this, so I appreciate you. They patted themselves on the back for releasing a bugged class, which everybody played, obviously, because you just one-shot everything. They did a little stat comparison into how many people were playing the Spiritborn, which is just ridiculous. They also said something really weird.
A big culprit of this is actually due to unintended interactions that the class has with how some things scale and other issues. But then there's also another component that there are some balance issues with the class itself. And so it's pretty easy to conflate these two and be like, well, how much of the power is due to bugs or unintended interactions and how much of it is just some things have high numbers? We do think it's a bit of both, but...
Okay, so he said, we do think it's a bit of both. Do they really even know? Because they should know. Okay, dude, it's Vicious Shield is the legendary node that's doing this. And then once we bring that back down to what it's supposed to be at, then it's going to be a balanced class. They should already know that. It's so bananas to me that these people don't understand the system that they've created. I really feel like they just make up a bunch of stuff and throw a bunch of numbers out there and nobody tests anything and they just release it and just say, oh, you guys test it. That's how it feels sometimes. They did a quick comparison on people don't like nerfs, people like when you leave the bugs for the season. They did a quick comparison on that, which is really, really common sense. They added a couple more multipliers, but if you guys watch my videos before on this, it's not going to change anything until you change the base skill. You have to change the base skill. You have to change the base number that the skill has in order for it to do anything. You can add 10, 20, 30, 40%, whatever you want. If you go to Diablo 3, look at the skills there on the set items. They have 35,000% multipliers on there. So, maybe we'll get to there eventually, but I mean, I really don't think so. I really like the way that D3 does it. I know it wasn't like that in the very beginning, but the greater rifts go up to 150. It is insanely hard to beat a 150 greater rift solo. There's only a couple builds that can really do it efficiently, and that's exactly how it should be with the pit. There should just be a few builds that can do it, blast through Torment 4, but every single build in Diablo 3 can handle Torment 16, and not every build can handle Torment 4 in Diablo 4. They did some other item changes. The combustion change is cool. Like, you can stack damage to burning enemies now to get more burning effect. I don't know how that's going to work. We'll see, I guess. Here's a weird one. The charge bolt aspect that they added says, let's enlarge this real quick. It says, after casting charge bolts or after a charge bolt hits enemies 50 times, your next 3 casts of charge bolts become a wave. I don't understand these conditional like aspects. I don't understand who is creating this stuff and saying, oh, this will be fun, instead of just being like, dude, fuck it, let's change the way charge bolts work. Let's turn it into a nova or something around the character with this aspect, or let's just make it a wave of electricity that runs over enemies. Like, just make it like that. Stop putting these conditional aspects on here. It's stupid, and nobody I mean, I don't know if you guys like it or not. I'm gonna say, I'll speak for myself. I don't like it, and I think it's dumb, and I think it's boring. I think it's boring just reading that, just reading. Oh, after this. Oh, and if you do it 100 times and then turn to the right and then back up 3 feet and then it's like, dude, who gives? Stop. Just stop it. This guy never looks at the camera like the whole chat, which is really weird. Creeps me out. Just saying. Oh, they're buffing the shrines finally. So that's it. They're not nerfing Spiritborn mid-season. They're just giving the other classes a few buffs. This obviously isn't everything. Anyway, he mentions the armory here at the end, and he acts all weird about it, so I'm assuming it's going to be coming up. They probably just can't say anything about it yet. I'm sure it's going to be bugged when we get it. I hate to sound like a pessimist, and I'm just going to say this right now. I am not trying to be a negative person, but I really feel like it is just mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake with this game. And PoE 2 is going to come out, and I'm just going to forget about this game for a little bit because it's just a huge letdown every time. Subscribe to the channel if you guys like. I'm going to be coming out with lots of PoE 2 content when it comes out. So yeah, that's it. See you guys next time. Peace.